Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hockey KE's match review of Namibia versus Kenya. I hope you guys are excited. You're happy as we are. With me, I'm joined by John, as people know him, Kabu. How are you doing, Kabu? Tunangoja Njugusha to join.
Very well. Good evening, Simon.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Niko Salama. I'm very happy about the results.
Me too. Me too.
Mhm, mhm.
It,
Yeah,
it, it was
so
a good one. It was a good start for the team. So we are definitely patriotic, and we are
mhm.
happy with the result.
Yeah. That's very nice to hear you say, considering that what happened today. We are going to speak about that match later. We do know
Okay.
that the Kenyan team ilifika late, but it's good
Yes.
to see Kenya winning a big way. So for those who are joining in, welcome. Remember, you can always post your comments in the comment section below, and you're going to read them, as well as if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, ziweke
Mm,
pale ndani, and we are going to continue like that. So tunangoja Njugusha to join.
mm.
Shida ya mahali anaishi kwa shimo, so tunangoja amalize kupanda mti apate internet. So Kabu, where do we start? Yeah, a bit
Mm.
disappointing that we were unable to get to the tournament early, but regardless, we had a good start. Kenya scored the first goal. What do you think about the start of the game?
If you look at the first quarter, I think the tempo was very good. We started on a very high note. Actually, I think we pressed Namibia in their own half for the better part of the game. For the
Mhm.
better part of the quarter, actually, my only concern was the conversion.
Yeah.
In the first, it was very easy to get like 4 or 5 goals in the first quarter, but we didn't.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm,
So I guess for me, it shows the signs of having not played the league for a long time. It's
mhm,
a main contributor. So you could see we were very good in terms of the build-up play until when we got to the D.
mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
Njugush, tulikuwa tuna expect tutakuwa umepanda juu ya mti, but it's good to see that tuko kwa nyumba. How are you doing, brother?
I think I'm still excited about the win. So my internet decided to take a break, so I decided to go back to option option B.
Okay. Your volume
Yeah.
is a bit low, but I hope that we can get to hear you clearly. Yeah. So, what do you think about the start of the game, despite the disappointing start of the day in terms of getting to the tournament venue late? Our ladies didn't get there on time. We shall highlight that much later. Do you think we started quite well, considering those aspects of the events that happened in the morning?
Yes, we have 110%. For me, I think one of the things that I'm really glad was that they put that behind them, which is a really good thing, and they were able to settle into the game. I got in when Kabu was just explaining, some of the downside to it, and the effects that we are also seeing. I was looking at the analysis. The first half, first quarter at least, we had like five penalty corners which we had to ourselves, and we only managed to convert one, courtesy of Costa Tuahura. They kept on at it until they got it right, which was a really good thing. And so, as I said again, it is 110% for me. They
Mhm.
put everything behind them, and they were able to win the game.
Mm. Now, let's go into that penalty corner. We all know Constant is really good at drag flicks, and the execution was perfect based on that, because you see he targeted the goalkeeper's left side, which was left quite open. I think Namibia only had a player there, and it's usually very difficult to defend penalty corners that come to your face. But Kabu, what happened later? Because we didn't seem to take advantage of the other penalty corners we got. We should have expected, at least having converted that beautiful one, we should have
Mm.
converted more.
Uh, I think for me, one, the trapping was proving to be problematic. We didn't seem to just trap the ball right, so it kept spinning. And the moment we saw we were not being able to trap it once, twice, thrice, at times doing a variation helps. You know, you can just decide to vary once or twice, then you go back to the normal drill. So I think we just kept trying the same thing over and over and over again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jugush, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with him. I thought they would change, the format of play, or even change karaoke at some point from
Hmm.
taking the PC, because I saw Masibo was in, Alan was also in at some point, and I think they could have made good use of them to take the penalty corners, or even change it. And I don't know why, what the coaches had given them instructions, but I think at some point they should have given Barry a leeway to even receive the ball and pull people towards him, so that he's able to create space for the others, for the likes of Onyango. Festus,
Hmm.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking about Festus, he needs to find his scoring sticks. You know, now it's not football. You can't say scoring boots. He needs to find his scoring sticks because, according to my calculations, he had three one-on-ones and four clear chances to score. Is it because of jet lag or just being unlucky? Kabu, what are your thoughts on this?
Uh, for me, I look at it from two angles. One, Festus is a very good player. Festus, from the time of Strathmore, I mean, is a brilliant forward. But at times, for me, the way I observe today's game, it shows the rustiness of not having played in a competitive league for a long time.
Mm,
So that element of being in that continuous pressure situation during a league match, and you get accustomed to doing the right thing. I think that is what was lacking. So it was unfortunate for him because he got most chances for the team.
mhm.
The only good thing is at least towards the end he got one. You know, as a striker, I know when you're sleeping and you've not scored. I mean,
Yeah.
you keep replaying those chances that you wasted. So at least
Mm.
having one calms the nerves, and I'm hoping he can build on this.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with you. Yeah, the rustiness is there, especially in the fourth quarter. You could see that we were struggling. We gave the ball away too much. We were not winning the second balls as we did in the first half, especially, and we started missing passes. So yeah, it's understandable. I think the last time they played was in Mombasa, which
Mm,
was not quite at par, especially if you consider the playing ground, because
yeah.
Mombasa is a grass pitch, and where they went in Ghana is of course a water-based stuff, a new one. The other
Mm,
thing that I think could have played is settling in. I think they did very well actually to settle in the game because we all know, and I think Njugush here now you'll come in. It's a Kenyan culture where huwa tunapigia majiwa tunamwambia tuko hapa Aga Khan tukikuja, but in fact bado uko Thika. I think that has played to our advantage. Hiyo story ya kuchelewa tunafika na tuna win game.
I try to think if it was.
Come on Jugush. Sasa
Ah,
wewe
Jugush
unaharibu.
bwana.
Ndio
Jugush,
yeye anarudi.
huyu
Uh,
jamani.
yes, he's back.
Can you hear me now?
We can see you
Yes,
now.
yes.
I was saying, yeah, that's true. Our delay tactic seems to have worked this time round.
Mhm,
Namibia didn't know our style of play. They didn't know how we play our game, and this was a good surprise for them. And I know South Africans on Thursday will come for us, not with the same mindset that they always have against Kenya, because I think we have shown the best for us.
mhm. Yeah, Alvin Wesonga is saying your jet lag si mchezo bana. Change of weather. Remember, Ghana is like 10 degrees centigrade hotter than Nairobi. These guys have made us proud. Yes, thank you, Alvin, for that comment. Yes, they've made us proud. But one
Mm,
thing I want us to highlight is the build-up play. Kabu, your team is known to have this, and I'm sure there are things that you identified in that midfield that Kenya
yeah,
did well. We
yeah.
do know that the coaches that have gone there, the three amazing gentlemen that are there, that is Kimanzi, Mike, and Asenge. They are coaches who are known to believe in midfield, packing the midfield, and also having quick attacks.
Yeah.
That was evident in the game. Do you think that is what Namibia were unable to handle?
Exactly. We were able to dominate the midfield. It was very good to have Bobo, in Nyungu there in the center
Mm,
of the park. So he was able to really control the pace of the game. And even
mm,
the runs on the wings by the other players, the likes of Barry, they did well. Now our problem is the finishing. So we
mhm.
dominated midfield very well. We were able to get a lot of circle penetration,
Yeah.
but now the conversion, I think, was a major letdown for us. And
Mhm,
moving forward, it has to be really an area we improve on, especially after having watched other teams like Nigeria, Ghana, even Uganda. I think it's an area we have to work on.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. We do know that some of the basic things that we are told, especially as coaches, is to make sure that you clamp down the midfield. Once you win the midfield battle, is now a matter of converting your chances. We did see that Kenya
Yeah.
were deploying a high press, and they were able to keep Namibia in their 25. They were unable to move out. I felt that Namibia were slow to get out of their defense. They were taking a bit of extra time to release the ball in their defensive areas, and we do know wao, unajua hawajajua ile style ya kuchapa mpira iondoke kwa defense, ile tunasemanga kutoa lawama. So I think that played into Kenya.
Hawana players wa Parkland.
Yes, hawana players wa Parklands, but usiwapatie siri, they might decide to loan them or give them citizenship. Yeah, but Njugush, do you think that now, speaking about the next game, do you think that Kenya should deploy the same high press against South Africa, or they should look at sitting back and hitting them at the counter?
No, I think going to the South Africa game, and I like what Kabu said. We build our game from the midfield, but this time round, I think I expect them to come back, just to beef up the defense a bit. So
Mhm.
probably the likes of Inungu to step back and then allow Barry to play around the way he has done today, so that he's able to attract people to them, and then be able to give Festus, the chance to do something up there, and I think they're going to do it. But I think very little changes are going to be made in my observation, because I think this is the game, and we talked about this on Sunday. This is the game that they had planned to come with to the game, to the tournament, and it has proved to work for them. And so I think they can do it. And I think it also works because, yes, they were going as a pack, but they're also coming back very fast to ensure that they cover up for their defense.
Mhm. Yeah. Just a few comments here. Dennis Kibet is asking, where do you guys watch that game? Juu nilitafuta link nikakosa. My friend, you need to know people. You need to know people. But anyway, jokes aside, go to watch.hockey.
Waulize Kabu anajua.
Aya, Kabu ajibu basi.
No, sasa hivyo endelea, unawaambia poa sana. They can watch it obviously through the app na utawapea hiyo
Yeah,
link ya watch.hockey. I think the
yeah,
games were also showing on Facebook kwa ile 2NK TV, but some
yeah,
point
yeah.
in time, I think in the afternoon they stopped showing. So as long as you
Mm.
have the app, you're guaranteed of watching the games, keep it.
Yeah. And in case you can't install the app on your phone, you can also go to the watch.hockey website, quickly create an account with your email address and password, and you can continue watching the matches. Now, Leonard Rioba is saying, let's focus on the results. Old age will catch up. Natural law of compensation. Hiyo sijaelewa, but probably he can elaborate on that. And then you have Brian Morioki who's saying, nice game from our boys, Jazzy number 7, Amenibamba. Yeah, by the way, did you see that skill from Zit Musumba, if I'm not wrong? If Yeah, did you see that skill?
Yes.
Alidanganya
Yeah,
anaenda one way akapitisha ball the other side of the defender. The defender was left embarrassed. That was very nice skill. Now,
good.
yeah, there were a lot of good skill displayed, but in my view, I don't think we can go with that sort of play to South Africa, because South Africa is a much experienced side, and remember, just a few months ago they did participate in the Olympics, so it's a change of tactic that is required, as Jugush has said. Of course, as part of this review, we are going to mention a bit of the South Africa game. So, Kabu, um, what do you think Kenya could do to improve their performance? Because moving forward, we are going to face tougher teams.
Yeah. First things first, if you remember the last game we played against South Africa, the one in 2018, the one we lost 2-1. I mean, we were leading 1-0, I think, until the last 10 minutes. We conceded 2 goals.
Mm,
I think coming into this game that we play South Africa on Thursday, the one mistake that we should not make is conceding short corners. If we concede short corners, they are very good in the execution, or their conversion rate of short corners is very good. And
mm,
more often than not, when you tend to change your playing strategy and you play more defensively, you will definitely concede more short corners. So
mm,
Kenya has to play to their strengths. Like in 2018, walikimbiza wa South Africa sana. I mean, run at them. That has to be a strategy. It is the way we play. It has worked for us against Namibia. So I think we really need to try and do that against South Africa so that we minimize
mm,
conceding short corners as much as possible.
mm, mm. Yeah,
Mm.
Jugush knows this so well because part of his favorite meal is kukula ugali. Do you think that Kenya's physicality played a huge role in the big win against Namibia?
Yes, it did. And probably just to add on what Kabu has said, it is very good that today we didn't consider any short corners, and so that is one thing that we need to really take and try and avoid, because that was. That is something that the South Africans will take advantage. But also one thing that I've noted, and this is with the first the goal that was scored against. I don't know about what you guys think about it, but I feel like the goalkeeper should not have left for that to go for that ball in the first instance. He should have just stayed back and wait for it to come back, because Magu, I think, was the one who was there. He was next to that player. He could have reached that ball and tried to do something so that he would have
Mm,
prevented that goal. And so those are some of
mm,
the blunders that I think we can try and avoid, because it was unnecessary for him to go out.
mm. Yeah, speaking of that goal, in my view, I think I'll disagree a bit with you, Juguch. I think the goalkeeper is right to come out and try to win that ball. I think the only thing we didn't do right was to have someone at the back post to defend. You remember, was it Festus who was denied on the goal mouth, at the goal mouth, by the Namibia's defender? Uh, because the goalkeeper came out, but unfortunately did not get the ball, but we had the defender defending. So, Kabu, how do you handle that situation? Because if the keeper stays in goal, and we saw how Tristan Karaoke scored the fourth goal, it's difficult to
Mm.
stop a shot. If you go,
Yeah.
you need to have defenders behind you.
Yeah, in fact, you see, when you think about defending, one of the mistakes that defenders actually do is blocking the view of the keeper, and yet you're not putting any pressure on the striker. By you standing in front of the goalie, you block his view. So you're better off even just leaving for him to have a clear path towards seeing the ball. He'll stand a better chance of actually maybe saving it. But on this occasion, if you remember the goal, it began by a casual, let me call it lapse in defending. We actually had won the ball. Someone had it on the baseline. Easy dribble. The ball was stolen,
Yeah.
switched towards the D, and then no one attacked the player. So it was just a direct shot towards Silong, and the other defender was standing right in front of him. So I
Mm,
think the goalie was right to try and narrow down. But unfortunately, I think accumulation of factors that one, no clear sight of the ball, two, no pressure on the forward from the defender. So we were bound to concede that one.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. And
Okay, now
yeah,
that
yes,
I've
Jugush.
conceded, now that I've considered you guys are the coaches and you're more experienced with this, then I think the problem then should be what should be addressed here is communication issue.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I agree, and that was the point I wanted to make. I think what lacked, especially at different phases of the game in our defense, was communication. Because at times, if you review that match, unfortunately, we don't have the technology to review the footage right now. But if you review the defense, if once you get time, you'll see that there are times that two or three players are going for the same man, and that
exactly.
man has the ball. So it means
Mm,
that you are leaving other players free or you are leaving space free. So
me,
moving into the next game, they need to look into that and they need to improve. They need to communicate. The goalkeeper needs to start sorting out his defense or preparing his defense mentally, position wise, when the ball is still in the opponent's half. So by the time the ball is getting into our own half, we have the luxury of relaxing because you already have the positions covered. The other thing that probably played a role is because we had so much of the ball in the opponent's half that, when you get too comfortable attacking, you usually forget how to defend. So I think that's also played a role. So in terms of the transition play, Kabu, we did so well in terms of taking that ball away from defense, going quickly into attack. Is it something that we should look to build up on moving forward to the in this tournament?
Most definitely, I think that is one of the strong points of this Kenya team. The movement of the ball from defense to midfield to the forwards is just very good. In fact, I would almost equate it to how Nigerians are moving it. Very fast, agile. So we are getting a lot of circle penetrations. And remember, the more circle penetrations you have, the better the chances of scoring. So
Mm,
that is a plus for the team. And that is something I will reiterate. We need to just build on that. The more
mm,
we are able to get into the Ds of our opponents, the better. Even our forwards who are looking rusty right now. You see, if someone gets 10 chances and they miss nine, at least they score one. But if you have a rusty forward and he only gets one chance, I
yeah.
mean, there's no likelihood of us getting any goals.
Mm, yeah.
Mm.
Before we move on to the next section of the, yes, Jugush, sorry.
I just wanted to add and say that when we get to the D, I don't know if you guys noticed, our strikers were using a lot of backhands, which seem not to have been working. In fact, I counted about 3 or 4 goals, which if they just used their strong side, which was their right side, they could have scored some good goals.
Mm.
So I think this is one thing that Kimanzi and Malungu need to work on and just talk to the strikers about.
Yeah. Our reaction after a foul is also one thing that is Duncan. He's saying there was a point where three players were at the same place and a Namibia player starting playing the ball from the touchline. And Jugush, I also wanted to pull you in on this because um, we do know that the FIH rules are the standard rules for international tournaments, and these rules are also adopted in the local leagues, and the local leagues are allowed to come up with their own rules, but the baseline or uh, the the document that guides them in terms of making the rules is the FIH rules that are usually, I think, redone every year. Now, I noticed something in the game, and I think I tweeted that. In Kenya, we are used to being penalized whenever you don't give a player 5 yards during a scoop reception. So when the defender is receiving the ball, or the opponent is receiving the ball, you're supposed to give them 5 yards. Once they receive, you allow them to control, and then now you can go in for the tackle. Now, in this match, I noticed that Namibia were not giving Kenya 5 yards. The referee was only blowing for a foul and play continues. So for them, it worked well both ways, because when we are receiving the scoops, they don't give us space, so they break play. When they are receiving the scoops, we give them a lot of space. They receive the ball and then pass before we close down. So, Njugush, do you think that probably some of the rules we have in our local leagues are affecting how we are playing internationally?
Yes, definitely it is. I think Kabu is a very good example for this kind of play, because I've always seen for him to always gives the 5 yard with the 5 yard rule. He always just walks away from it, raising his hand, which I think works out best. So I think we need to fully implement some of these things in our local leagues, and considering that mid-February the league is resuming. Hopefully, we hope that these rules will be updated, and that players will be able to, be abreast of that. And because also I've interacted with some umpires who have said, oh, we go out of the country and we encounter some of these issues and we don't know what to do. So it's always good to always be abreast of what is happening as a country, and just ensuring that these things are up to speed.
Yeah, because Kabu, getting penalized with a yellow card for not giving 5 yards, it's a bit too harsh, and you've seen it's affecting our game internationally.
Very true, very true. But the important thing is to now adjust. We are accustomed to playing in a certain way, and the moment you notice the things have changed, the important thing is for Kimanzi to communicate to the boys, to tell them, I mean, these are the rules of the game. This is how the game is being played in 2022. I mean, we just have to adapt and change. It's an advantage to us when we are defending. Okay, so I mean, you don't have to give five at all times, especially with the scoops, because I think that is an element of the Kenyan game where we always just give five at all times. So they just quickly need to adapt.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the beauty of having younger players. When you have old players, they say it's very hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but the younger players will easily just adapt to the to the new norm.
And speaking of old dogs and new tricks, there's something that got me a bit ticked off is um, kuna katabia tuko nako as Kenyans, and especially I've seen this with the younger players, where if a foul happens, wanaanza kugongesha stick chini and play is continuing instead of
Yes.
them going back to how can we sort out this issue? Let's start with Kabu and then Jugush before we move on to the next section of the review.
I think this is a culture that hopefully we can help stop at club level. We are with these players every day, and more often than not, it's not all players. It's a section of the players, which mara mingi huwa ni kichwa ngumu tu, and we have to talk to them, kalisha au bench kidogo, instill in them so that hopefully this it may be a habit that we desist from doing.
Yeah,
Mm.
Jugush. Yeah.
My only problem is they go back to the clubs and they will see what Simon is doing and continue doing it. So whether or not they are told at the national team level and then they come back here, it's the same
Ah,
thing.
I,
so
I
you
think
think Simon is the problem?
yeah, I think we are the problem. We as the media, because I think our players wanataka kureact hivyo ndio camera shot itoke vizuri. One for the Insta. So they want to show that emotion. but yeah, but seriously
You
though, yeah,
No, I agree with you,
Jugush.
Simon. It's a habit
you
that
can show
must
good
change.
you can show other emotions by just celebrating. Score a goal
Mm.
and then celebrate. That's a good insta thing to have.
Mm.
Yeah, because something else I also saw, so that we can go and talk about the ladies match. Something I also saw, Kabu, is that, and this is a discussion I've had with you before when we've met in Kusa matches, is this
Mm.
point of where players feel like they can argue with the umpire with all calls made. So when they're arguing, the play is continuing. So that's
Mm.
also a habit I think we should cut it out. So what are your views on that?
No, it's conduct and becoming. And when you have a player just talking to your umpire, they're really not helping because game has started. Your team is being attacked, and more often than not, you can even concede while the player is still talking to the referee. And these
Mm,
things more often than not begin on training sessions.
mm,
Ndio hiyo mnacheza, and you notice there are guys who will constantly argue over every foul that is being blown. So
yeah,
coaches have a key role to play in terms of ensuring this discipline, because it's
yeah.
something that you can groom a player to stop by
Mm,
reminding him over and over again. I mean, you call a foul and they want to talk a few push-ups or tell them to do a few laps. It because they are the younger players, it's something that you can curtail when they are young. But when someone is 30, 35, I mean, it's
mm,
something that becomes hard. Unamkubali hivyo tu.
yeah, yeah. So going to some of the comments, then we move on to the ladies game. Brian Morioki is saying mwenye kiulizo ndio shida. Sasa hapo umenichoma kidogo, lakini ni sawa tu. And then Simon Odhiambo, thank you Simon for commenting. He's saying we considered because defenders were ball watching, they need to be more active. Yeah, we agree on that.
I agree, Simon.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Kabu.
Yeah, I agree with Simon. It's the same thing I said. We just ball watched, and in fact, we are even blocking the view of the goalie as we ball watch.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Jakadadi is saying mimi bora tuchape Uganda.
Jakadadi, tutanunua bell, tutakunywa bell Uganda.
I think Jakadadi bado ako na machungu ya last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm being corrected that Karaoke scored the third goal. The fourth was Festus. Yeah. Thank you for the correction. And then she goes on saying they've done well overall. Personally, I'm impressed. And then Rioba is saying poor conversion rate. Yeah, we've talked about that. Duncan Simiu is saying the accuracy of our finishing should also be improved. We have many chances that we casually lose. Now, let's move on to the ladies' side. Njugush, the plane got there at 2:07. It touched down at 2:07, and the match was starting at 2. I don't want us to go into the politics of what happened or what should have happened, but what next for the Kenyan women? Because Ghana have gotten the 3 points, and it's a plus for them considering that Nigeria beat Uganda earlier in the morning. So how should the Kenyan women approach this tournament moving forward?
I think just like the men, they need to have a positive mind. I could hear them in the terraces, cheering on the men, and I think this game has come up as a very good motivation for them. So we hope that it's now the chance for Barbara and Jackie tomorrow, and the teams will be equally surprised, just like what Kenya have shown against Namibia. And I'm hoping for good results. I was speaking to Kabu earlier, and we were just discussing about this game, and I was telling him, and I thank God it has come to pass that the good thing is that we need to prove ourselves that we are worthy to be in that competition, and I know the ladies can do it. They have the capabilities, they have the skills, they have been training for the longest time possible. They just need to put behind what they have experienced the last 2 or 3 days, and I know they're going to perform.
Yeah, and Kabu, before you comment on that, I can hear that the dog is also celebrating. So make sure imepata mifupa as well for celebrating Kenya's win.
It
Ndio
wants to
nakaa
comment.
nikimute. Ndio nakaa nikimute. Nataka kuingia studio.
Inataka pia kupeana views on the match. It's happy that Kenya has won. But anyway, what are your views on this? Because moving forward, Kenya can't afford to drop any points.
Yeah. Actually, your pool I thought tuko Ghana, Nigeria, Zambia, and Kenya. Uganda is not in our
Sorry.
pool.
So hakuna Uganda sasa. It's Zambia. Pole sana. Zambia. Yeah,
Uganda
you're
is
correct. Zambia
Zimbabwe
is
leo.
in the other one.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
eh, so good thing is that Ghana and Nigeria drew. Wali drew 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Now the unfortunate thing is for us losing to Ghana, three points and 3 goals. Mathematically, it puts us in a bad place. But good thing because Ghana and Nigeria drew and Ghana didn't win. Unajua Ghana ingekuwa imeshinda, they'd be having 6 points. So
Mm-hmm.
mathematically tungekuwa pabaya sana. So
Yeah.
starters is for us, we have to win our first game against Zambia. I mean, it will be
Mm-hmm.
a good starting point because as long as they secure those 3 points, now
Yeah.
heading against Nigeria, as long as they secure at least a win or a draw, they stand a very
Mm-hmm.
good chance of at least even finishing number 2. So it's
Yes.
it's unfortunate the way it started. I can imagine it's demotivating for them.
Yeah.
But now the game for Zambia becomes a must win. They must win that game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Looking at the table there, we see that Ghana are top on 4 points with a
Yeah.
goal difference of +3. Nigeria second on 4 points as well with
Mm.
a goal difference of +1. Zambia and Kenya. Zambia are above Kenya based on goal difference. So, as
Yes.
you say, moving forward, every match for them is a must win because remember, the
Mm.
first two teams are going to the semi-finals, and the other teams are going to the qualification round.
Yeah.
So, what are the mathematics looking like, Kabu?
For Kenya, there is no shortcut because of dropping the first 3 points. It's a
Yeah.
must win for the two games. Because you
Mhm.
see, if we defeat Zambia, we go to 3 points. If we play against Nigeria and draw, Nigeria will go to 5, we'll go to 4. So we'll be out. So technically, we need 6 points. It's the only way out now.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm. Yeah.
mm,
And for those wondering, sorry to go back, for those wondering, you can always get these fixtures and results on our special event page. That is hockeyk.com/Africa Cup of Nations. You can also get the link on across our social media pages. As you can see there, in the men, sorry to go back to this, as we said, Kenya are through to the semis based on the results because even if uh, they lose to South Africa, Namibia are already out. So that's good news for Kenya. Yeah, now for the women, they are going to play. Let me draw the fixtures here. So the women are playing tomorrow and they are going to play against Zambia. That is 12 p.m. Kenyan time. Jugush, how should they approach this match, having watched that Zambia game against Nigeria?
I think, and we talked about this on Sunday. The only way about it is play the game from the midfield, and I know they have really packed that up. So I think just like the men, they are going to apply a similar tactic game, and going to be the same thing for them. And I think we have to win that match because Zambia is not it's an easy team to win, and it's a team that Kenya can beat.
Kabu, I want you to react to that last statement because remember yesterday people came out and said Uganda will give Nigeria a run for their money. Lo and behold, 10-3 the final result. Should one game basically react to Njugu's statement?
no. The worst mistake you can ever do in sports is to be overconfident. So obviously, the books favor us. We stand a very good chance, but you can see mathematically already, even psychologically, the players are at a bad place because already one, they've already dropped the first 3 points. So you can imagine getting into that point. It's a game you're playing. If you lose, you know you're technically out of the tournament. So it will add some pressure that I don't want to call it unnecessary pressure, but it's pressure nonetheless. But looking at the squad, we have a relatively good side. It's a well balanced side. We have some youth and experience. So I
Yeah.
expect nothing short of a win, given how I've seen them play, the Zambians and also the Kenyans. Now that I know them here from Kenya, I think think they stand a very good chance to win the game. For me, their toughest game will be the Nigeria game. That will be their toughest game. Yeah. But for now, they just need to crunch in the numbers tomorrow. They need to get the 3 points. Then we now wait for Nigeria versus Kenya.
Yeah. And Jugush, you need to sambaza your confidence because based on what I've seen in this tournament, hakuna team yenye ni pushover. There is no team that's an easy pushover. So, bro, you need to share your confidence with me.
acha niwaambie ile confidence najua wameona leo from the men. That's the one thing that I think they're going to go with into the ladies game, or rather into the Zambia game, and it's going to be. They needed to see the men win tonight, and they have done it, and I know they're going to have a lot of confidence tomorrow.
Yeah, and Susan Wafla is concurring with you, and I think the men's performance has given them psych. The ladies will make us proud. Then highlights. Unfortunately, we can't give you highlights because of copyright issues, as well as we've just jumped onto this immediately after the game, so you are unable to accumulate the highlights. So, gentlemen, there is a question here from Rioba. Hockey K, I have to ask: is it possible to appeal the women's walkover? Who is willing to answer that question, gentlemen?
First things first.
It's a no.
Yes.
First thing, we really need to pray that other teams like Zambia and Nigeria don't insist as well. They want a walkover against Kenya because Ghana has benefited from a walkover. You know, in such tournaments, if you actually don't arrive on time, you're not even meant to play. So I think that was we were extended a leave by Federation of African Hockey to be allowed to participate despite coming in the tournament late. So I think it might be a little hard for us to appeal, given the fact that one, our fixtures were rescheduled from Monday to Wednesday to accommodate our lateness, and despite that accommodation, we still came late again today. So appealing might not be a feasible option.
Yeah. I spoke to one of the people in the organizing committee of Africa, and he said that even if Kenya did request for a postponement of the fixture, unfortunately there were no slots to post the fixture. So I think that's a done deal. It's 3 points and 3 goals to Ghana. Now, Kenya are taking a rest tomorrow, the Kenyan men, and then they will be playing their next match, I think, on where is this? No, Kenya are playing tomorrow, actually. Kenya versus South Africa at 7. Njugush, what's your prediction on this so that we can end this review? Kenya versus South Africa.
Hii ni ngumu. This is where I eat a humble pie. You know, I've seen Alvin posts. He had a meme he posted earlier on his page. Hii tunaenda na upole. We just need to minimize the scores. That is, if we don't I don't expect a win. I don't expect a win on this. Let me be sincere.
Give me a score.
We just need to minimize those scores. We don't want 13 goals here. Hey, 4-2. 4-2 is my prediction.
To South Africa or to Kenya?
South Africa, definitely. We can't win this game. Tuambiane ukweli.
When Njugush si mtu mzuri. You are very optimistic about the women, and then all of a sudden umechange. Uko far extremes. Uko extreme, you are very optimistic na very pessimistic.
Wewe ngoja usikie scores za Kabu.
Haya, wacha tusikie Kabu.
Sasa hivyo bwana, hapa tutaimba mapiano kama umesikianga mapiano.
Come on guys, be
Kama uliona
optimistic.
venye
Tunaweza win
Namibia,
1-0.
kama uliona venye Namibia walizungushwa hapo, hata kizunguzungu mtu anaweza pata. So the good thing
I don't know
now
why
on
I'm
a
laughing.
the good thing on a serious note now is one, at least our boys are not under pressure. You know, there is nothing as bad as maybe mume draw na Nigeria, na Namibia, or Namibia has defeated you, and now you're saying you need to beat South Africa to proceed. I mean, the pressure even on the players is very high. Given the fact that they already know they are number 2, regardless, you know. So for me, I don't expect cricket scores. Otherwise, if ifikishwa hiyo 13, the way Njugusha and expect. But for me, I think it will be like 4 or 5. Tutaokota kama 4 or 5 hapo.
Yeah. Njugushu unaambiwa we can make it. Vinny Vincent anakuambia we can make it.
Mimi nimesema 4-2. To convert kidogo, tushukuru Mungu.
Kwa hivyo tuanze kununua filimbi za mapiano.
1-1 draw.
Nunua hizo.
As this game ended in a 1-1.
Sorry,
1-1 draw was easy for us. So wacha now saying if this game ended in a 1-1 draw, when Namibia equalized, I started doing the maths. Now we need to get scores less than 13. So mabao hizi 13 tutazipunguza aje? But now just like what Kabu has said, we have the hopes. Angalau wacha tujaze kikapu na mabao 4.
Sawa. So one thing I want you Jugush to do is
let's wait for semis huko mbele tunakutana nao.
Sawa. One thing I want Kabu already know akona whistle because he is a coach. And Jugush, I want you to buy a whistle na pia mkiwa na Alvin kwa sababu anasema hapa Busia nishaanza kudansa mapiano. Kesho nayo wanachezesha hiyo tune bure. We just have to minimize the scores. Come on guys, let's be optimistic. Let's be optimistic. Personally, I'm going to say we are going to draw 1-1.
Saimo, it's good to be optimistic but also realistic.
Realistic, okay.
The fact that tumekawia a lot 2 years bila kucheza, playing against him, and I say preparations better. Unakuwa tu realistic tu, unakubali.
Aya, sawa. So Kenya versus Zambia women, your prediction?
My prediction 4-0 in favor of Kenya.
Okay. Jugush?
Kwani umeenda kununua firimbi
kama Ken Saimo?
Tunauliza Kabu, hiyo swali hapana. Jugush, what your predictions of Kenya versus Zambia, the women's?
Come again, Saimo, I didn't hear.
Wewe kesho make sure umepanda mti. Usitwaibisha hivi tena. 2-1
Game ina 2-1 is my score. Game inaisha vizuri lakini sasa sisi inaanza staki Tova niongeleshe vibaya, wacha nya.
Sawa. So a few comments before we end the show. Susan is saying mimi hapa nategemea tu Flavian na Bito Mbugua to save us from the harsh results tusipate ulcers. I think hatuwezi kuwa na harsh results against Zambia. Hiyo tumesha predict tutawin. And then I think for the SA game, we need, that is Rioba saying, I think for the SA game, we need to utilize our numbers and absorb the pressure. Ondeo is saying, I have the confidence with the men's teams. They'll play the final despite the challenges. That's being optimistic. However, hiyo story ya realistic ya Kabu ndio tutangoja tuone when the 23rd arrives. Wafla is saying be realistic. 1-1 haiwezi. Imagine unaweza shtuka hiyo game inaweza isha 1-1 mshangae. Umeona vile vijana wanajikaza. I think we can beat South Africa bwana. Yes, we can beat South Africa. What are you saying? Si hao pia wako na watu Kabu, watu nasema aje, si wako na stick kama sisi, hawachezi na stick mbili. Si watu tunasema hivyo.
Ni kweli.
Hawana stick mbili. Si ati wanacheza na stick ya chuma na sisi tunacheza na
unatumia zima hiyo kitu.
Aya, Brian is saying 5-1 in favor of Kenya. That is Kenya women. And then Ekambachi is saying, I'm a British Kenyan and will come to play in the national very soon. Welcome very much. We need people to come and join the national team.
Welcome,
Kenya women 3-1. Kenya women 3, Zambia 1. That is Alvin Wesonga. Duncan asema good job. Thoma ameshaongea mbaya, hauna bahati Njugush. Thoma ashaongea mbaya, ashasema Njugush, change ISP wako. Alafu Batesh anasema Njugush anatumia bundles za you. Hapana, sasa hivi imetosha. And then we can beat South Africa. Labda Njugusha atuwakilishe kwa ugali. Njugusha ashatuma unga. Njugusha ashatuma unga. Sasa ni vijana wa kule. Batesh is saying Kenya 4, Zambia 1, and finally Magare is saying nina uhakika tutatandika RSA, that is South Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all your comments, your queries, your suggestions, and also your jokes. Any last views or thoughts, gentlemen? Let's start with Jugush and then we'll finish with Kabu.
I think it's finally we can have some laughter. We can enjoy. We can joke on the Facebook page. It's really exciting to see a change of tone. Who has been eating fire now? At least he can talk about something different, and this shows it's a sigh of good relief. I'm really looking forward to Kenya versus the Zambia game, the women's game tomorrow, and then later on at 7 p.m. the South Africa game. I know probably the three of us will be here again just to discuss this game and give a review of what has happened, and I'm expecting it to be a good game. So good job to the boys. I know the girls are going to make us proud, and it's a high time to see what Jackie Mwangi and Barbara have in stock for us, and I know they're not going to disappoint us.
Yeah. Kabu?
One, thank you for having me on the show. Good job to the boys, to Kimandi and the team. Good job for the win. Asanteni sana. We're very proud of you. And to the girls tomorrow as well, I wish you the very best. You know, USIU has 6 players in that team, so nimeguswa roho sana hapo, nitakuwa nimekaza sana. So we look forward to a victory. Now, as we wind up, I also think it's the year 2022, and I think the union, obviously or surely, they need to do things differently. I mean, it's very sad and unfortunate that things that used to happen when we used to play hockey 20 years ago are still happening in this day and age. I mean, how can a team be told, I mean, you're not sure whether you're going, muko tu hapo 10 p.m. bado, you're not sure. I mean, it just shows poor planning from the union, because this is something we knew we were participating a long time ago. I think they would have done a better way in terms of logistical preparation, even if it means kutafuta at least sponsors. The Ghana teams are not being sponsored by the government; they are being sponsored by kama waswa revenue, so petroleum industry. So I think these are some of the deliberate efforts that the union needs to do, because at the rate at which we are going, we are honestly killing the sport. The only thing driving the sport is actually the passion. Yani these are players you can imagine, wengine hata labda allowance hata huko sure kama wamepewa, but they're just passionate, they're going to represent the country. But if we continue this trend in the next 5-10 years, Uganda itakuja itupite, hata lower ranking teams itatupita, because people will start diverting their efforts to other things. So KHU kindly, amkeni tafadhali, nawaomba amkeni. Hii kutoenda trip, it happened to me 2004. It is happening 18 years later. Very sad. So I'm hoping things improve.
Yeah. Yeah, sad state of affairs there. So my final thoughts is good job by the Kenya team, good job by the boys. Despite everything, they did prove that they can conquer all. I think they can continue riding on this. They can continue taking those challenges and converting them into something positive. And I believe they can go all the way and even win the tournament. Anything is possible if you believe and you work hard for it. Let's not make excuses that this happened. No, we can dissect and look at it much later. But for now, what is important is the tournament. I agree with you, Kabu. And all I have to say on that is this. And I think I also said this on social media. If you don't come out and speak, and this goes to both KHU and the government, if you don't come out and speak, people will start filling in the gaps with their own their own things, based on theories, the truths, and the rumors. So despite everything, just keep the people updated on what's going on. It doesn't hurt to say what is going on, but keeping quiet is only extending the speculation and the anger. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here. We are going to have more discussions. I hope, Kabu, we are going to have you for more previews and reviews. And we are also looking for women. And Jugush, we are having a hard time looking for women to come in and become pundits. Wanaogopa, I don't know why wanaogopa, and yet wanatupush, wanasema gender equity ama ni equality. Kabu, what is going on? We need women. Tupatie wawili watatu from USIU who can come and speak about the game. Women, we are looking for you.
Moja.
Ni kwa sababu
Eh,
kwa sababu mtu ameitwa leo mwanaume ameitwa queen, so the queens themselves have refused to come in.
Please don't mention that on air. Tafadhali, don't mention that on air. Please don't mention that. Staki siasa sahi. Time ya siasa itakuja. Kuna time itafika tuongelee hiyo siasa.
I have not called names. I haven't called any names.
Sahi, and I'll say this again. Sahi, I won't entertain siasa. Let's entertain the tournament. Tupate result. Tournament ikiisha tutakuwa na time ya kuuliza maswali. So Kabu,
yes.
hopefully we shall have you next time, and please come with one lady, and also ladies, we are looking for you. Just DM us or me on Jugush. We need to have you in our shows. It's not fair not to have a lady's perspective, especially we need to have a lady analyzing the women's game. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe evening. Mulale salama. Cheers and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.